Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our next chapter of our novel study book for this term. We hope that you're enjoying it, and please can we remind you that any work that you do, you're uploading to Class Dojo. As well as that, if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in contact with your class teacher. So as you can see here, our topic for today, and we've got another fabulous map. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I love these maps. As you can see here, we've got our location mapper as well. Perhaps you can find out whereabouts on the map that is. So today we're looking at Lewis and Clark crossing the American frontier. Sometimes it's easy to look at the world and presume that it's been the same for a very long time. So I always find it amazing to think that 200 years ago, the USA was very different to the powerful nation we know today. Back then, it was a young country. It didn't have control of all the land it does now, and it had not yet explored and charted beyond its frontiers. So in 1803, Thomas Jefferson, you might have heard of him before, the president of the newly formed United States of America, sent his personal secretary, Meriwether Lewis, on an expedition west into mainland America, beyond their nation's borders at the time. The aim was to find the water supply and stake a claim to the land before other countries got there, and also to establish diplomatic contact with the indigenous peoples and expand the American fur trade. Lewis asked an old army friend called William Clark to be his companion for the trip, so they, along with a small band of 33 intrepid companions, set off west to St. Louis in Missouri to journey all the way across the continent. The expeditionary force was named the Corps of Discovery. So let's start here in St. Louis, where we also finish, I think. So Lewis and Clark set off by keelboat up the Missouri River on the 4th of May, 1804. The expedition was accompanied by a big, shaggy, black Newfoundland dog called Seaman. As you can see here then, the expedition found and recorded more than 250 new species of plants and animals along the way, including the grizzly bear. They named the locations and landmarks they saw after loved ones, friends, and the president, and even Seaman the dog. The Discovery Corps set up in number 3. The Discovery Corps set up a winter settlement called Fort Mandan in modern-day North Dakota. Here they hired a French-Canadian hunter and his Native American wife, a lady called Sakawag. These names aren't easy, are they? Sacagawea from the Shoshone tribe to act as guides. In spring, the expedition set off once more, this time in canoes. Then we head to Beaver Rock, ladies and gentlemen. When the expedition reached Beaverhead Rock, a Shoshone landmark, they came across a group of 60 long-haired warriors mounted on horses, who were all members of the Shoshone tribe. Please remember, ladies and gentlemen, if I am pronouncing any of these wrong, please bear in mind I don't mean to. So thank you for being so patient and kind. Number 5, we now are on towards Camp Fortunate. When Lewis and Clark met the Shoshone, they were in desperate need of horses to continue the journey, so they asked to negotiate with the chief. As he arrived, Sacagawea embraced him. He was her brother. Lewis and Clark named their ship Camp Fortunate to celebrate their luck. As you can see here, it then heads up to the unclaimed territory near the Columbia River. Number 6, the route was very mountainous, and at one point, the expedition climbed a ridge, hoping to glimpse the Pacific Ocean, but it was disappointed to see even more steep hills and valleys. You can go here, you go, ocean in view. Oh, the joy, where you see the border at the British North America, so that's also known as Canada. Number 7, they were led by a Shoshone guide called Old Toby. It was a long, cold, and miserable trek, and they nearly starved, but they were saved by Old Toby and his knowledge of the local wilderness. The expedition finally sighted the Pacific Ocean on the 7th of November, 1805. As we can see here, we backtracked slightly away from the Pacific Ocean. Here, Lewis and Clark held a vote about where they should spend the winter before starting the long journey home. They included a slave named York and Sacagawea in the vote, which was unusual at the time, for slaves and women did not have the right to vote. And finally, travelling all the way back through all of these wonderful places, number 9, the return journey took 6 months, and when they sailed back into St. Louis, they had been away for 3 years. The expedition had covered nearly 13,000 kilometres, and they had become the American heroes in the process. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our chapter about Lewis and Clark, and our next one, as you can see, is all about Charles Darwin. As I said at the start, if you do any extra work or you do need any support with anything, please do not hesitate to get in contact. We hope you have a lovely day, and if there's anything we can do to help, don't hesitate to get in contact. Speak to you soon. Bye.